Hello, Jared. My name is John Rhys Davis, and I have just received a request to give you a pep talk from your brother, Justin Davis. His description and request is amongst the more mysterious that I've ever received. My brother and I grew up loving Raiders with our now late dad, maybe more than any other film. Our religion forbade Tolkien. Good gracious me. Our religion forbade Tolkien. That's an unusual one. I hadn't realized that. Well, I suppose Tolkien was a good Catholic. It's his Catholicism, his faith that gets him damaged, as they all were, but essentially through the First World War intact. So I'm curious about that. The name Davis, that's the English version of my name, which is spelt Davies but pronounced Davis. What an interesting pair of brothers you are. He tells me that sometimes you suffer from self-doubt, which sounds a little bit sometimes like depression, I would think. And sometimes I suspect that, like many men, you find the burden of responsibility weighing very heavily on your shoulders. I think your great philosopher and poet, I've forgotten his name now, but he once said, and it'll come, he once said, most men live lives of quiet desperation. Now, I think he was talking about lone men living in America with a lot of existential worries, a scramble to make sure that there was a roof over their heads, there was food on the table, and even that there wasn't a gun or an arrow pointing at them at any given time. I think in the modern way we all feel that, won't it? It was Thoreau, Thoreau, or Thoreau is perhaps the way you say it. Most men live lives of quiet desperation. Yes, I think there's been a time when I've been almost overwhelmed by the burden of caring for a very sick wife, a very, very, very ill little child. But we have to go on. And that's why God gave men big shoulders, because we carry the world. Now, what else does he say? Oh, he says, you're very gifted at playing the guitar. You're a very gifted writer and an incredibly loyal, supportive husband of 20 years and a loving father to an 8-year-old daughter, Claire. I too have a daughter. She's 18. And it seems only yesterday that I was bathing her in an overlarge bucket and letting her bounce up and down in the warm water, shouting with glee. Couldn't bounce her up and down now in a very big barrel. The love of our lives, of course, little girls. Yes. And a loyal and good husband of 20 years. Good congratulations. Congratulations. My darling old first life, I was married to for 42 years. And I was a terrible husband. I did not realize that the engaging scattiness that attracted me so much to her when I was 21, she was 33. I did not realize that it was a foretaste of early onset Alzheimer's. And of the 42 years we were married, she was with the fairies for 30 of them. I coped badly, but we are still a family. My elder son is here with me this Christmas. My younger son is there with me this Christmas. And my daughter by my second marriage is here with me this Christmas. I've always regarded us as a somewhat dysfunctional family, but in fact this Christmas there was, with my 16-year-old granddaughter, it was a remarkably engaged and engaging family. Things do change. The terrible thing about being a mother or a father, I think, is you know that your children have no idea how much we love them until one day they become parents themselves. We always love our children. There are times, and you haven't reached that time yet because she is not yet an adolescent. There are times when you will love her and at the same time not like her. That's certainly true of some of my children. But they go through that, and they get through that. And if we give them love and our support, they flower. Some will take longer to flower than others. But they will. They will. My dear fellow, I'm talking too much about me and not enough about you. I'm glad you find comfort in Tolkien. I'm glad you find comfort in Gimli and those wonderful conversations. You know, right at the end, isn't it? Those, I never thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf. How about a friend? I could do that. In the end, in the face of death, all our animosities and resentments, I suspect, give way, or should give way. And if we were really masters of our destiny, they should give way long before then. I'm an old man. I tell my children every time we meet now, consider this the last time that we shall ever be together and ever talk and ever meet. And so let us say all the things to each other that we need to say. With luck, it won't be, and we'll have another go at it again. But never presume that the last time you have an exchange with someone you love is merely a bridge to the next one. None of us quite knows when the hammer will fall. Well, I've been very, very maudlin here. This is your pep talk, right? Jared, you are loved and you are estimable. You are talented, you are gifted. Work. And whenever you feel down, go out and do something nice for a stranger. I did something nice for a stranger the other day when I came back. There was a woman struggling to get a trolley at the airport out of a machine that actually wouldn't take her card and kept rejecting her. So I put my card in, and for $6, I left a very grateful and happy woman with a loaded cart. And I felt good about myself. Do you know, psychologically speaking, it is better to go out and do something to help somebody in terms of your mental health than any medication they know. This is actually tested. Anyway, this message comes from you, from your brother, Justin, who lives miles away and clearly regrets the fact that he is a fatherless and isolated man. You two brothers sound just about the most admirable pair of brothers that I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. I hope you both support each other and renew your childhood animosities and friendships, and put aside the animosities and rediscover the love that binds you both together. I have been really privileged through just this simple little message to get to know you and get to talk to you. I hope we meet in real life again sometime. I'm sorry for rattling on, and Justin, if this is not really what you wanted for your brother, do let me know and I will do it again. But I thank you. My love to you both, and may we all have a wonderful new year.